Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel. A fake news article that claimed Israel had warned Pakistan against meddling in Syria almost led to a diplomatic crisis after Islamabad's defense minister tweeted an indirect nuclear threat at Israel. Defense Minister Khawaja Mohammed Asif was responding to a news story published on the AWD News website, which claimed that former Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon threatened a nuclear attack if Pakistan sent ground forces into Syria to battle the Islamic State. Asif then tweeted, "Israeli Defense Minister threatens nuclear retaliation, presuming Pakistan role in Syria against Daesh. Israel forgets Pakistan is a nuclear state too." Israel's defense ministry responded to Asif's tweet, saying that the statements attributed to former Defense Minister Ya'alon regarding Pakistan were never said. The report that the Pakistani defense minister responded to is completely false. Israel handed over to the Palestinian Authority the bodies of 9 terrorists who were killed while carrying out attacks against Israeli soldiers and civilians. The bodies were returned on Friday, a week after Israel had given over the bodies of 7 other terrorists to the Palestinian authorities. Israel in recent months has eased its policy of not returning bodies of terrorists on condition that the burials be conducted directly following the return of the bodies, and that the funerals not become displays of public support for the terrorists and their actions. 5 of the bodies returned on Friday were those of Palestinians from Hebron. A giant blaze broke out in Haifa this morning after a fuel storage tank caught fire at an Israeli oil refinery. The thick black smoke was visible across much of Haifa and the surrounding area. The cause of this morning's fire is as yet unknown and is being investigated as 40 firefighting crews work to contain and extinguish the giant inferno and prevent the fire from spreading to nearby tanks, also containing flammable fuels. Adjacent roads were closed to traffic. Officials said a larger disaster was avoided as a tank with a capacity of 10,000 cubic liters was relatively empty. Emergency firefighting crews first took control of the situation in the morning, but the fire returned to life in the early afternoon, with crews once again furiously battling the flames. Today's fire comes about a month after fires that broke out in Haifa and across much of the Jewish state destroyed tens of thousands of homes. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lashed out at President Barack Obama during today's cabinet meeting, saying Israel had no doubt that the Obama administration did not just abstain from the vote, but initiated the UN vote on Friday, stood behind it, coordinated the texts, and made sure it passed. And in a highly unusual move, Netanyahu instructed the foreign ministry to summon the ambassadors of the 12 countries of the Security Council with whom Israel has diplomatic ties to reprimand them for the anti-Israel resolution. It was unusual because he was summoning them on Christmas Day. Because the majority of the ambassadors are on vacation in their countries, their deputies or lower-ranked diplomats are expected to come in their place. Speaking in English, Netanyahu said he spoke to Secretary of State John Kerry on Thursday and said friends don't take friends to the Security Council. The Ministerial Committee for Legislation voted on Sunday to require social media providers to remove terrorist content. The proposal would authorize courts to order companies like Facebook, Google, YouTube, and Twitter to remove posts that risk personal, public, or national security. The state would be able to seek court orders to remove such content from social media platforms without giving any advance notice. The request for a court order would be based on classified evidence. The Justice Ministry submitted 1,755 requests just in the past year to the aforementioned providers to remove content, of which 71% received a positive response. The bill was sponsored by Justice Minister Ayelet Shaked and Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan. The bill will now move to the Knesset for a final vote. That's all for now. Tune in to ILTV for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you tomorrow with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.